All right, so boom. I'm the diligent, vigilant, meticulous, sagacious, conscientious, analytical, methodical individual, the Chiseled Adonis. And this video is a little bit of a different tone because it's been sitting heavily on my souls since a couple of days ago when, unfortunately, the Dallas Cowboys defensive player Marshawn Kneeland took his own life. And it's very confusing because, for one, from the outside looking in, here's a young man who's 24 years old, essentially living out his childhood dream on top of the world. You're playing for the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, and just 3 days prior, you had scored a touchdown on a primetime game, nationally televised, with your highlight circulating virally through social media, millions upon millions of views with your name attached to it. And somehow that wasn't enough to go and overcome demons in a battle that nobody else could see. And truly, it's one of those very, very depressing things to watch happen because it's not an anomaly. This happens incredibly common. And furthermore, the timing is very, very confusing because, for one, it's Men's Mental Health Month. You happen to play on a team where, for all intents and purposes, the face of mental health in the NFL right now, at least one of the faces being Dak Prescott, who endured his own brother going through the same sort of situation. And here you are in that locker room, which we're only a few years removed from when that happened. That organization had to deal with, trying to go and console Dak. And now here you are consoling the entirety of the organization with what transpired within your own locker room. That's just brutal. And not even just from a team perspective or even a fan perspective, just on a human level. The most difficult thing regarding death is the finality of it, right? It's irreversible. Once you're dead, you're dead. That's it. But another part of death, which I believe Marshawn Kneeland was dealing with, was grief, because there's no blueprint on how to deal with grief. For those who don't know his story, last year when he was drafted, 2 months prior to the draft, his mother passed away. He was incredibly close to his mother, and she passed away unexpectedly. It's one thing if you have a parent who's sick and you kind of know the writing is on the wall, so they're just holding on, right? But if you get caught completely off guard, there's no real preparation for that. Still, there'd be no preparation regardless, but having to endure that. And I saw a couple of people put out tweets or statements and people conversing about what transpired, some feeling as if perhaps after he scored the touchdown and seeing, hey, you're sitting there on top of the world, your name is out there ringing through the social media streets, people know who you are, you're visible across the league now, and the person who you love the most, who you wanted to be there with you, isn't there to share that with you. That can definitely lead you spiraling. Other individuals had stated he may have dealt with, mental illness and mental episodes, if you will, in the past, or whatever the case may be. It's not my place, nor is it our place to know why it happened. And furthermore, we're not entitled to get an answer. But I will say this much, it is incredibly concerning because, for one, it's not the first time that something like this happened. However, I'd be, remiss if I said it's not incredibly concerning to see it continue to happen. Now, albeit women deal with this to a degree as well, but women are encouraged to speak to a degree. For men, there still is a stigma, unfortunately, where for whatever reason, it's ingrained in us from when we're young that nobody cares about our problem. And furthermore, you're not encouraged to go and speak to individuals. And then when you do feel encouraged to go and speak, so for whatever reason, we'll feel burdened to try to bring that to a loved one. It's very confusing. It's like a mental mind fuck that the bulk share of us happen to deal with. And truly, it's got to be broken. We have to feel way more encouraged now to go and speak up, because I think there's been a huge shift in recent years in trying to encourage men to open up and talk about your problems, and never feel as if there's not somebody to talk to, because there always is. There's hotlines. You have friends, family, people who you can go and speak with. But I think there's some times in which we'll have blinders on when you're in the darkness, you're in the funk, you feel like you're not comfortable talking to somebody because you have issues, or for lack of a better term, I guess this is how I can explain it. And pardon me for being kind of all over the place, because this is just me thinking out loud. Like, this was really bothering me for the past couple of days. And I felt as if, you know what, let's have a bit of a dialogue about what transpired. And maybe, you know, other individuals can go and share their stories as well. And you could have much more men and women as well feel much more comfortable opening up and having somebody to talk to, even if it's in the comment section. But I like to believe that there comes a point in which you'll look at whatever your problems happen to be, the grief, the trauma, whatever it is that you're carrying, you'll sit there and say, for me, this issue that I'm dealing with is in my life, it's the shit. So if I try to go and bring what is the shit in my life over to a friend, a family member, what is the shit for me isn't going to be the shit for them. So maybe they won't care as much. Or if they do care as much as I care, I don't want to burden somebody with the shit now dealing with you when you have your shit. So now the shit becomes your shit on top of the shit you're already dealing with. So you mentally say, you know what, I'll keep this to myself so I don't burden somebody with something. But then deep down, you so desperately want somebody who you can talk to. So it's almost as if the answer to your problems in front of you, but you're unwilling to go and reach out. Not to say that's Marshawn's case, because I think that I don't believe that was the case, right? But overall, just speaking broadly, if you will, regarding with the unfortunate reality that there's a ton of men out there who, I think it's like 700,000 annually, and by the minute it's still multiple individuals unfortunately taking their own lives. So it's very concerning. And I'm sure there are people who are probably on the other end of the second screen right now who probably either contemplated, maybe had attempted and failed in the past, or even furthermore know somebody who had attempted previously. Like, I've talked on streams about individuals who had to deal with possibly getting to that particular point and finding an outlet, whether it been somebody to talk to, maybe finding some form of escapism. And then now they see, oh, wait a minute, their grass is greener on the other side. Maybe it wasn't as big of a deal as it was. Maybe there's a better way to go and carry, you know, the trauma or work your way through it. Because as I stated previously, one of the difficult things regarding death is the finality of it. There's some times in which you can lose a parent, you can lose a sibling, you can lose a spouse. That changes you. You're not the same person anymore. And furthermore, you shouldn't be expected to not have that reality of what transpired change you. But you should feel, to a degree, comfortable having an outlet or somebody to go and talk to. So I wanted to take a moment to encourage everybody out there who's dealing with something. Please go talk to somebody. Talk to somebody, whoever it may be. Talk to somebody. And there's times in which maybe, again, with that mental mind fuck, where there'll be somebody who you can talk to, but they're not who you want to be the one who lends the ear to listen. Sometimes it could be, hey, I could talk to my friends, but I so desperately want it to be my spouse, but I don't want to burden them. So then now I'm going to go and carry this weight. It doesn't have to be like that. Like, at the end of the day, men, woman, whatever demographic, religion, sexuality, we're human at the end of the day. Life is hard for all of us. It truly is. It doesn't matter where you fall on the classes, whatever the case, it don't matter where you fall. Life hard for everybody. We got to be able to come together, block out the fucking noise, and be there for each other across the board, period. So truly, for anybody who's dealing with something, whether it be personal, professional, whatever the case is, please reach out and talk to somebody. Because this is a problem that's been going on for years across the board of all professional, professional occupations, and even individuals who don't have any form of notoriety. Somebody who you don't even know exists right now, unfortunately, went and made that, decision. And when I was younger and much more naive, or I shouldn't say naive, but I'd say ignorant to everything, I'd be like, man, that's the sucker way out. But wait a minute. You still don't know somebody's story. You don't know how heavy the trauma and the pain and the grief that they're carrying is. Sometimes some individuals just want to feel numb. I've talked about it on stream about the messages I've received from individuals who felt like, hey man, this might be it for me. and all of a sudden they come across a video online or something and it just sparked a smile, cracked a smile, maybe laughed a little bit, and suddenly they started to find their way back. Maybe that's all somebody needs. Maybe that could be all that you need if you're somebody who's going through something. So again, I encourage you, reach out to somebody. Please reach out to somebody, because I would hope that this unfortunate event can be an awakening, if you will, across the globe. Forget the nation, across the globe, where people could say, yo, you know what? We need to start talking about what the fuck we dealing with. Because life hard. Life's already hard. We could come together so that we could look out for each other to make life a little bit better. So please, if you're going through something, reach out to somebody. Rest in peace to Marshawn Kneeland. Hey, I appreciate you watching the entire video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out if you haven't already. And on top of that, hit that notification bell as well. For whatever reason, YouTube's only showing my videos to 20% of my subscribers. So if you have already turned on the notification bell, turn it off, turn it back on. If you never turn it on, turn it on. I appreciate you.